camera.
Remember one time we did TikTok and Miss Channel's class, she got mad at us.
Yeah.
She was telling us. And we were there.
Correct that passage. Alright, children. As a general rule, it seems like 7th grade pretest takes a little while longer than 2 seconds they did at 5th grade. Because usually you learn more questions. Could be wrong on that. I desperately need for you to do. This little thing will say something about leaving the meeting, and I need you to tell me when it says leave the meeting so that I don't leave the meeting. Because if I leave the meeting, then it changes things. So let's correct as best we can. Oh, boy. Is this not the right book? What color is your book?
White.
Yellow.
It's got orange.
Orange.
Rainbow.
All right, here we go. Anybody gone? So here we go. Number 1. Should go in this order: 3/7, 3/6, 3/5. 3/7, 3/6, 3/5. I'm gonna leave it up there because otherwise I'm not no one. After a certain time, it kind of shuts off. And I don't need it to. Number 2. Let's go with what? Our car. 36 WPM. That would be yes, words per minute. 3, Anna. I unfortunately have 18. 18. That maybe gets old. 4, Carter. Bocek. Who? Wait, did I miss something?
No, I can't read my reading.
Oh. Now, Carter, one might ask, if you, the person who wrote it, can't read it, who in the wide, wide world of sports could read it? Even Conrad, known for her great interpreting abilities of other people's handwriting, cannot seem to find some sort of answer. 44444. The answer, we got to move on here, is 2,880. 2,880.
What'd you get?
Number 5, Conrad. 5 should be 190 minutes. 190 minutes. Number 6, David. 6.5 would not be right because you can't make a half of a trip. It has to be 7. Is that what you're raising me for? Number 8. Oh, I'm sorry, 7. Number 7, Peyton. 7 should be C. C. Kamara, you're going to make noises after everything I say. Right, let's just. Emma Martin, you can field number 8. 8 is. What? I have $17.50. $17.50. Number 9, Robbins.
33.
33 milliliters, yes. 10 should be in this order: -3, -1, 0, 2, and 4. -3, -1, 0, 2, and 4. 11 probably asked you. What is that even mean? I think I pushed the whatever button. Number 11 asked you the factors of 8, I believe. 1 and 8, or you could have 2 and 4. 1 and 8, or 2 and 4. Number 12 would be Christopher. The associative property of addition. Associative property of addition. 13, Luce.
-2.
13 is -2. 14, Kelsey.
-5 and 5.
5 and -5. Number 15, it says to justify the steps, let's just say through the commutative and associative property you end up with. Sam, what'd you end up with?
Oh, I just said y and then
You came up with Liam. What? Lila, you came up with,
5 times 6 and then
wait, what was the final answer is kind of what I'm going here.
42.
I have 420, by the way. 420. 16, Carter Riker.
16 is greater than.
16 should be less than. Children, less than. Number 17, Reagan. $9.20. 18 is $30.24. 19 is $1.70. And 20 is 36. 20 is 36. Now, before we get to how do you do or why did I get this wrong, we'll do what is the answer for. You must preface it with what is the answer for. Hayden? For 8 should be $17.50. Avery Heron?
What's the answer for 7 and 9?
7 is C, 9 is 33. Weiss?
What's the answer for number 5?
Number 5 is 190 minutes. Christopher?
What is the answer for 18?
18 is $30.24. Kelsey?
What's for 13?
I'm sorry, what is the answer for?
Yeah.
Did you say that? Are you going to say that?
Yeah. What is the answer
For
for 13?
13, -2. -2. Carter Bocek?
I don't understand how I got 6 now.
This is what I like to hear. Now, before we talk about I don't understand or how do you do's, let me give you this. I don't know how many of you used this in the past, but again, 7th graders, as a general rule, because I let them use a quote unquote, I don't like to use the word cheat sheet, I like to use a helpful guide. Let me strongly recommend, and I will tell you this will help you immensely in the future, that you get a piece of homework paper. Like, if you want to tell yourself what the little helpful hints to do on problem number 1, homework paper already has a 1 on it, and you just write in the little box for problem number 1. Remember not to forget to do this, or remember to do this, or this formula there, or whatever. That's what I was looking for. Good. Stay in the call. 2 minutes. Now we can talk. Hold on. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen. That's this one. Share my screen. Share my entire screen. Here we go. Hopefully I got this test up here somewhere. Is this the one? Does that look like yours? Did you guys have a babysitting job? No. Did you guys have arrange these fractions?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So again, I cannot do any more than suggest you use it. If you don't want to use it, don't blame me if you don't remember something. Now, I'm sorry, Carter Bocek, your question was on which one?
6.
Number 6. Okay, the first thing that I would leave my, I would write in my notes is that you can't take a half of a ferry. So a ferry could carry 12 cars across the river in one trip. So here's me, here is the river. You know, you've got this little ferry boat. It can take 12 cars per trip. There are 80 cars over here. The question is, how many groups of 12, how many times will this ferry, how many loads will this have to be? Well, that's obviously what type of problem? A division problem, right? How many groups of 12 can you take out of 80? If you take 12 divided into 80, those of you that got 6, well, you kind of did the math right, because 6 times 12 is 72. But you're left with 8 cars that are still on this shore after you do that. Okay, and you can't take a fraction of a trip across the thing. If you only go 7/8 of the way across the thing, it's not going to get you there. Okay, which means you need to, in this case, take 1 whole extra trip, and that's where 7 trips came from. in story problems, you have to be very careful because sometimes you can't have fractions of things and sometimes you can't have remaining. Well, rarely you can have remaining things. That is where the 7 trips come from. That would be the note I'd leave myself on problem number 6. You can't have remainders or fractions. You have to. It's just like when you paint walls. Okay, you can't buy a fraction of a quart of paint. You have to buy the whole quart. And you just got some left over. This guy would have a little extra room left over. Maybe he wanted to take his family across. I don't know. Conrad?
I don't understand number 9.
Conrad says number 9 gave her some sort of issues. Water level in the beaker rose from 80 milliliters to 113 milliliters when the car was submerged. The toy takes up how much water, what volume of water? So here's the deal, Maya. You had this beaker full of water. I always find it helpful to draw some pictures. Before I put the toy in, there was 80 milliliters of water. This was at 80 milliliters. Okay, but then when you put the car in there, when they put the car in there, this is really a real world problem, children, because this is how they do measure volume of things. You know, when they put the little toy car in here, or whatever car it was, that water rose up to 113 milliliters. So the question they're asking is, you know, because the water went up because this car took up some of the space of the water. So they want to know how much space did this car take up. Well, if you subtract these two, it'll tell you how much space that is, because that's how much was added to it to get it up there. So it's simply just a matter of 113 minus 80, and you're going to get 33 milliliters. Does that make sense? What did you do, by the way?
I got 23 milliliters.
You just subtracted wrong. Did you borrow when you didn't need to borrow? Carry when you didn't need to carry? Kelsey Stone!
With the number 4, you're supposed to multiply.
Oh, well, I don't have number 4 memorized. 24 cards were placed in each box and 120 boxes were parked in each carton. How many cards were in the carton? Number 4, ladies and gents, as always with story problems, you know, if I can draw some pictures and sketch that out, that's what I'm going to do. You know there are 24 cards in every box. So here's a box, Kelsey, and there's 24 cards in it. You had 120 of these boxes, so feel free to draw this 120 times, but that might be overkill. Draw a couple there. How many and that's how many were in each carton. You have 120 of these in a carton. So what do you suppose you have to do? Yeah, you're going to multiply 120 times 24. Did you divide? Does that make sense?
No.
You guys draw yourself a big old picture, and sometimes this stuff makes a little bit more sense. And again, those probably would be the notes that I would leave myself. I can't tell you for sure that number 4 won't be division tomorrow, but who knows what tomorrow brings in a world of 2 hearts collide. Samantha.
I don't understand why I got number 12 wrong.
12 is by far one of the more enlightening and exciting. See, and there, ladies and gentlemen, again, I would let you leave notes about what the difference between commutative and associative property is. What were the rules of thumb? How do you know, what is the difference between the commutative property and the associative property? What were the telltale signs? In the commutative property, what happens? Numbers move. And if you look at these numbers are all in the same place, in the same order. This is a 3 and then a 4 and then a 5. This is a 3 and a 4 and a 5. This is not the commutative property. In the associative property, the numbers stay in the same order, but the parentheses move. The associative property has to have parentheses. Commutative can have parentheses, but it doesn't always. Okay, but the associative has to. In this case, the parentheses started here, and they are the ones that move. You changed, by the way, the numbers that you did I do something wrong? You changed the numbers that you associated together. Here you associated the 4 and 5 together. Here I associated the 3 and 4 together. Does that make sense? Did you put the commutative property?
Yeah.
Commutative property is an example of that is this: 7 plus 6 equals 6 plus 7. See how the numbers moved places? Here they didn't move, it's just the word. Conrad.
I don't understand if
Nobody really does. But I'll try. Let's do number 18. Wait, this is just a multiplication problem, Lana. Do I have to do the multiplication? Huh? First of all, do you write it in dollars and cents? Means you have 84 cents times 36. How about this? Which one did you put on top?
84
Okay, so I'll do it the way you did. Here is my 84 cents times 36. I assume that's the way you did it? 6 times 4, Mariana? Carry the 2, 6 times 8? Plus 2 is? I can't change your multiplication ability. When you get to the 3, you have to put a 0 down. 3 times 4 is 12. 24 plus 1 is 25. 4, a 2, a 0, a 3. 2 decimal places because you need to make this some money. $30.24. And you should always ask your children, does that make sense? You have almost $1, you have less than $1, and you multiply that by 36. Your answer should be relatively close to $36, and it is. If you came up with $3 million, that'd be kind of outrageous, or even $3,000, but $30.24 is a pretty acceptable answer there. Hayden Clark. Number 5. Children, number 5. I think that's down here somewhere. Down here somewhere? Oh, Miguel. Part of the problem with this is you guys have zero idea what a prepaid cell service is. Miguel has 400 minutes of prepaid service on his phone each month. If he's used the phone for 3.5 hours this month, how many prepaid minutes of service remain? How about if I asked you this question, Hayden? If you had 400 minutes that you could talk on the phone and you used 1 hour, how many minutes would you have left? Okay, so what did you do? You changed the hours into minutes and subtracted. Did you change this into minutes? And what did you get? Well, 3 hours is 180, and another half hour, yeah, that's 210. So when you subtracted 210 from that, you didn't get the answer we read? No, that's just how many hours, that's how many minutes you've used. You now have to subtract it from that, because this is how much you get. It wants to know how many remain. So there, okay, you can see on tomorrow, you'll be able to leave yourself a little note that says, don't forget to subtract. You have 190 minutes left. Did I get that right? Sometimes I get them right. Don't be afraid to ask a question, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you know, look at Kabar, he's all writing down all, look at you. What you writing down, Ryan?
The difference between low, medium, and low.
Now, does that come up on this test?
No,
All right, well, let me tell you, right, just to save yourself some time, if they don't give that type of problem on the pre-test, it will not come up on the real test. I'm just saying. If they don't give you a mode median problem on here, they're probably not going to give you one. Not that I don't appreciate the effort, but it just won't, it usually won't happen. Hey.
I'm sorry, but what was the answer for
Number 19 was $1.70. Anything else, children, while I'm standing up here amidst my big board and all these big numbers on this thing here? You know, this is kind of crazy. Nobody has any issues with 20 or 19? 18 more, subtracting $90.80 from 100. David, what's your thoughts?
I'm not it.
What?
I'm not it.
Robbins, everything is hunky-dory, peachy keen? Is that right? Nobody has any issues. Riker, you're good? I mean, I'll close this bad boy out, but I want your parents coming back to me saying, hey, why did this happen? Why did that happen? All right, with that being said, children, what do I want? I want to stop presenting. And I want to stop recording.